Hi there! Welcome back to Dolls Amok. It has been ages. I can't believe how long it's been since I've made a video. Happy New Year! Merry Christmas belatedly to all who celebrate. It is still within the 12 days of Christmas at the time I'm shooting this video, so I still have the Christmas spirit here. But I just wanted to make a video, start off the new year with some reviews of my newest dolls. I'm really excited about doing that. It's been ages. I feel a little out of practice, to be honest, but I'm back and I'm really looking forward to sharing these dolls with you. And this is our sneak preview of the dolls I will be sharing. So today's video is going to focus on 3 of the new Maplelea Me dolls. These are dolls that just debuted back in November, so they're very new. Maplelea doesn't make a lot of new products, and especially not very many new dolls. So when I saw on their Instagram that they were coming out with several new Truly Me dolls, I was super excited. If you've watched my other videos, you know that I have a fairly significant Maplelea collection. This wonderful Canadian brand is just so authentic, and they have just the most beautiful dolls. They have the most beautiful detailed outfits, really high quality, really like wholesome and friendly. And to me, when I get a little bit frustrated with like the trendiness of American Girl, or the way American Girl in recent months and years has kind of started to lose their identity, to me at least that's how it seems to me. You know, the way that American Girl is kind of like trying to be everything, I kind of turn to Maplelea because they're just so authentic. They are just themselves. They're not trying to be everything for everybody. Their outfits are not especially trendy, but they're super childlike. They're cute. They're things I could imagine wearing now if I was a child, and also back in the 80s when I was a child. They just have a really good feeling. So anyway, when I get a little like maybe disillusioned or a little fatigued with American Girl, I will switch over kind of my attention to my Maplelea collection. So anyway, when I saw on Maplelea's Instagram back in the fall that they were going to be releasing several new dolls, I was so excited, and immediately I knew that 2 of these dolls would have to join my collection. Without further ado, we're going to review these new dolls. I'm going to share them with you now. This is not an unboxing video. I had an absolutely insane fall. In addition to my part-time job, I am also a writer. I'm an aspiring writer and an aspiring novelist, and I decided to participate in NaNoWriMo, National Novel Writing Month, the yearly challenge. And so that was basically November. I did that, and December was insane. Like, I can't believe it's already January. I can't believe New Year's is past. I'm still in shock. I haven't caught up. So that's just the kind of fall that it's been, and I just had to put, you know, my American Girl dolls and my dog collection kind of on the back burner while I did these other projects. But the good news is that a couple of these dolls were kind of rewards for going through the NaNoWriMo process and participating in that. They feel really special to me because they kind of marked that, and they also just helped brighten an incredibly busy, stressful November. So without further ado, let me share them with you. So let me start with just a tiny bit of background information. If you've watched my other Maplelea collection video and my other Maplelea Me boy doll opening video, then I probably said some of this in those videos, but just a quick review. Maplelea has been around for a couple decades now. I don't remember exactly when they were incorporated, but they started off with character dolls, but unlike American Girl, they were not historical characters. They are contemporary characters. So these characters represent, or the dolls represent, characters that exist now. So I do have several of those Maplelea, I think they call them the Friends, if I remember correctly, Maplelea Friends, Maplelea Girls. I don't remember exactly what the line is called, but I do have several of those. However, as you know from my other videos, if you watch them, I really love creating my own characters. And so I have a special affection for the Maplelea Me line. This is a line they debuted, oh gosh, maybe about 15-ish years ago. I don't remember the exact year it came out. It's their answer to the American Girl Truly Me line. So this is their line of dolls that don't have names. They have no established characters. They come with blank journals that you get to fill out for the character that you invent for them. You can choose a doll that looks like you, although unlike American Girl, there aren't that many options, so there's not a whole lot of dolls to choose from. But more than that, you can just kind of create the character for your doll so that she can be your own best friend. So this is the line they just introduced several new Maplelea Me dolls into. I believe I have so far, until these 3 new dolls, only one Maplelea Me doll, my boy. Davine is his name. I think that's the only one I have in my active collection. I do have another Maplelea Me doll that I'm not sure if I'm going to keep, who's in my doll closet, which is where I put the dolls that I'm not sure I want to keep. So these are the 3 new dolls that they just debuted. I think there are also a couple more, but honestly, I haven't really checked to make sure how many new dolls they released, because my attention was so instantly caught by these 2 dolls in particular. When I saw the pictures of the dolls that were going to be coming soon and they put them on their website with like a coming soon notice, I was like, as soon as these dolls appear, they need to be here. This doll in particular, this is KMF 57. I took one look at the stock photo of her and it's like, this doll has to be here. She is meant to be here. This doll I was almost as excited about. This is a boy doll. So again, I have one Maplelea boy doll already, and I just took one look at this little gentleman and I was like completely smitten, so excited. And they didn't all arrive at the same time. I mean, they were staggered. It was like a staggered release. So 57 and I think a couple of the other dolls came out, and then he came out like 2 or 3 weeks later, so it took a little bit longer. So this is KMF 57, KMF 56, and this is KMF 53, and she was a gift to me from my husband for Christmas. So she is my Christmas doll. So again, all 3 of these dolls just appeared on the Maplelea website like 2 months ago, barely. So they're very new. It's really exciting. They all have face molds that already existed in the Maplelea line. It's just really fun to see like different versions of those face molds that have been around for a while, and it's just so exciting. So I can't wait to get into all the details with you. So let's start. Again, not an unboxing video. I already unboxed them during the crazy fall that I had. I just didn't have the wherewithal and time and mental energy to do unboxing videos at the time. So I apologize that these are not official unboxings, but I will give a pretty thorough review. So this is gorgeous KMF 57 Maplelea. She has the same face mold as another very beautiful Maplelea Me doll, not one I've ever had. It's the African Canadian. She has like a slightly darker skin tone, and she has like the curly spiral hair. They also, I feel like, used to offer that same doll with like a textured wig that was more cropped length. And I'm kind of bummed that was the one I kind of always had my eye on, and then she got discontinued, so I never got her. But this is the same face mold, and here she is. So she has this beautiful kind of cafe au lait, medium skin tone. I feel like it's medium light. It's not super rich. It's a nice neutral. Trying to think of like the American Girl doll it would be most similar to. Might be, I don't have my American Girl dolls in here with me, but maybe like Nenea, maybe, but I feel like this girl is lighter than that. And so anyway, she has these gorgeous, rich, warm brown eyes. We are having a very, very rainy, dismal day in Northern California, so I don't know if the lighting will pick up the tone of her eyes, but it's actually a really warm, rich chocolate brown. It's very much like the brown American Girl used to use and called their light brown. It was never a light brown. It's not the amber that they still make. It's a retired color. I mean, the one I'm comparing it to is a retired brown that doesn't exist anymore, but that's what this reminds me of. It's like really warm and has these beautiful warm notes in it. One thing I love about Maplelea dolls is kind of the high quality realism of the face sculpts and the eyes, and I know that this is very much one of those things where people kind of love them or hate them. I know for a lot of people they're a little more uncanny valley because they are more realistic than American Girl dolls. But for me, I love that. It's not so realistic that it bothers me, and I find their features really childlike. So this girl has this lovely medium skin tone. She has these rich, warm brown eyes that are just gorgeous and pick up kind of the warm colors. I have her in here. And then she has the most adorable freckles. So this is kind of what sold me, was the black hair, this medium length, the slight wave to it, the freckles, the medium skin tone, and the brown eyes. I mean, it's so beautiful. She's very multicultural. I am not being too specific in my imagination, but I'm kind of leaning toward maybe indigenous ancestry with her looks. She reminds me a little bit of Sila, one of their character dolls. But just look at this coloring. Isn't she absolutely gorgeous? And I've found so far, I haven't had a lot of time to play with her honestly, but I found so far that she looks really good in warm colors and rich colors. So that I have this outfit, it's retired. I feel like it was originally maybe an Alexi, a Maplelea Alexi outfit. I'm not sure whose collection, or maybe it was Leonie, because I know Leonie likes red. Anyway, don't know whose collection it was in. It is Maplelea brand. I found it on eBay like a couple months ago after I got her, and I just think it's so cute with the little warm tights and the boots. I mean, look what a great outfit. It is a very mix and matchy. So anyway, I love the colors for her. The kind of rich autumnal hues I feel like bring out her coloring so well. So that is her face. So again, same face mold as a couple other dolls that Maplelea has made or still has available. But it's kind of a new, unique combination with the freckles and the contrast, I would say, between the skin tone and the hair. Hair is middle part. See that beautiful middle part? It is very sleek. It is easy to care for. It does have like a medium length, so it's not too long to manage for a child, but it's also not too short to braid or do different hairstyles with. It comes down to maybe like her middle back. If you pull it, it might come down to the top of her bum, but it's not super long. It is so thick and lovely and soft. Look, I'm going to do the ponytail test. Take a twist. Look how thick that is. That's like really thick in my hand there. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? And it is so shiny. I haven't really brushed. I think I've brushed it like once. And it's the hair, it's the kind of hair you don't really have to brush a lot because it just looks good the way it falls. I haven't styled it yet. I've just been enjoying like her newness, and I just loved kind of pulling it over her shoulders like that. So there you go. Her hair does have a slight like wave. It's more than a flip because you can see it has a slight curl direction, but it's not enough to actually call it curly. So I'm just gonna say it's a wave. So that is KMF 57. And for me, when I opened her, this was like instant adoration. This is one of my most favorite dolls I've ever had. And believe me, I've had hundreds of dolls over the years that I've been collecting. I don't keep them all, so I don't look completely insane, but I've had kind of an insane number of dolls come through my collection over the years. And this is one of my most top favorite dolls ever. It's just something about her expression. She looks so sweet and friendly and serene. The freckles are adorable. She looks so much like an 11-year-old child, and the hair is perfect. It's thick, it's high quality, it's absolutely gorgeous, it's shiny, it makes you want to play with it. And then she looks great in basically everything I've tried on her. I have kind of a medium small Maplelea collection, and so far I like my Maplelea dolls to stay in Maplelea outfits and not like wear my American Girl doll clothes, although, you know, they can fit them for the most part. She's looked really good in the Maplelea outfits I've tried on her so far. Like I said, I kind of prefer her in the warmer tones than the cooler tones, but I have put her in some of Sila's outfits. Sila likes teals, purples, violets, blues, a little bit more like cool colors, and she looks wonderful in those too, which isn't really surprising because she does have some similarity to Sila as far as her coloring. I love this doll. I highly recommend her. I can't even, on a grade scale of like F to A, she would be like A plus 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 by infinity. She is just perfect. I honestly don't think she could be improved in any way, shape, or form. She's just perfection. She is so wonderful. I love looking at her. She's adorable to photograph, and I can't wait to play with her more and get to know her more. I really actually want to fill out the journal. All Maplelea dolls come with journals. The character dolls come with a journal that's like written by the character, but then they also have a blank part you can fill out for yourself. Anyway, the Maplelea Me dolls come out with a blank journal that you get to create the characters, so I kind of want to do that for her. I did name her. Her name in my collection is Keiran, Keiran. I don't know why, since it's an Irish name, why that needed to be her name, but it just was, so we went with it. I don't know, maybe she's like Irish, indigenous, of some blend. I'm not being super specific in my imagination, but I absolutely just adore her and love having her in my collection. And I do want to say something quickly about the outfit they come in. So this is obviously an outfit I put on her, since this is not an unboxing video. I wanted to show you the outfit they come in. So the girl dolls, they do have some gender identification. The boy dolls come in a different outfit than the girl dolls. This is the outfit the girl dolls come in. So it's these nice shiny purple leggings, like a nice medium violet. They have lining around the band, so they're not going to stain your doll's waist. They're stretchy. They actually have a shine. I don't know if the light is picking that up, but they are a little bit shiny. They're really stretchy. These will fit American Girl as well as Maplelea. And then they come in this adorable striped shirt. I love the colors here. It's so cool. It's so cool. It's a little bit feminine. I can see why they are not making it gender neutral. You know, with the pink, it's definitely pulling out a feminine tone. But anyway, it velcros up the back. Long sleeves. This is Canada, so you know, a lot more long sleeves. And this lovely palette of colors. It's not really a rainbow, but it does give a similar effect. It's got a lovely little neckline where it's actually sewn over. And this is the kind of thing that if you want to branch into Maplelea, you will appreciate as a doll collector. It's just the details on their clothing. Usually, not always, but usually the clothing is really high quality and actually nicer than American Girl in the construction, the fabrics, usually, not always. But this one, just really nice, clean hems, really beautiful. The other thing I like is that Maplelea outfits are tagged. This is actually tagged with the number of the doll that it came on. So that's amazing. Like this actually says it came on her, KMF 53. So you can actually know like which outfit goes with which doll, which is really handy if you want to resell. And then it does come with these beautiful dark violet blue shoes. Just basic flats, but they have like plastic soles, nice sides. They are a shiny like faux leather material. They have this little stretchy part. They're just slip-ons. I feel like these are actually fairly neutral. I think the boy dolls can wear them as well. The color doesn't really scream girly to me, so I feel like they could go either way. And then, of course, being Canada, you get a vest, and it does have the little Maplelea maple leaf symbol right here. It's embroidered on. That's not a patch, it's actually embroidered. It does it does zip. It's got a working zipper. It's fully lined. As you can see, the lining is a light blue, so you get this lovely contrast between like the rich turquoise blue and the lining, if you can see that. It has a purple zipper, and it looks lovely over the shirt. So I'm just going to pull the sleeves through here so you can see. I don't want to change them in this video because I'm just not in the mood. I like what they're wearing. But this is how it looks on the doll. You can leave that unzipped or zip it up for warmth, and then you get the purple pants underneath. So if I can do this, this is the outfit that the doll comes in. So you have the vest and these beautiful stretchy pants and this lovely striped shirt like that. So really cute. And then these nice shoes. So that is what the girl dolls are now coming in the Maplelea and Me line. So the doll that I was most excited about in their new releases was definitely 57. I'm speechless. I love her so much. But this guy, KMF 56, was just like a millimeter behind her. The only thing making me not quite as thrilled with him was that he was a boy. And no offense to the male doll collectors, but collecting boy dolls is very, very new for me. And it just held him back like a tiny teensy bit. But for me, Freckles, curly red hair, and green eyes, are you kidding me? It's like the perfect combination. I had to have him. I basically ordered him the day he actually became available. And here he is. So I named him Max. Didn't want an Irish name, didn't want a Scottish name, didn't want a Celtic name. He just had to be Max. Don't ask me why. This was just his name. He has the light skin tone. It's like the light neutral, I think, like Leonie has. We will compare him to my other boy doll, Davine, shortly. But yeah, so light skin tone, neutral. He has kind of like low contrast lips. He has freckles. I'm trying not to giggle because every time I hold this doll, I feel like I'm 11 and he's just so cute. I can't get over it. He's so cute. So I don't know. Hopefully the camera is picking up his adorable freckles. And I will say it's the same freckle pattern as Kieran 57 has, but it is lighter on the fair skin tone. So very appropriate for a redheaded lad to have the paler freckles. So unlike American Girl, where in the past they've just like stamped the freckles on and they're like super dark, no matter what the skin tone is. I'm thinking of Create Your Own. When the Create Your Own first came out, they were like stamping these super dark freckles on the light skin dolls and collectors were like, what? This is so weird. Maplelea doesn't do that. They're exceedingly light to suit his really light complexion and his very fair look. He does have this fantastic curly red wig. As far as reds, it's not as bright as Jenna's. So I do have a Jenna, not in my active collection, but I've had Jenna, Maplelea Jenna in the past, and her hair is brighter. So hers is a little more carroty, so his is just a little bit more subdued. But I would say it's not as dark as, say, like American Girl Emily, Molly's friend Emily. So Emily's hair is a little bit more gingery, but a little more coppery. His is somewhere between Jenna's hair, Maplelea Jenna, and Emily. So again, not fantastic lighting because we're having like this super stormy day, but it is really curly. It was a little flat coming out of the box, and I am like, this is a boy. He's a character. He's full of it. He's going to be running around and doing crazy stuff. So I just fluffed it up and just like ran my fingers through it just to make it lively. You can tame it and like finger curl the curls if you really want to, but that's not in character for him. My favorite feature of his amazing features, this adorable male face mold that they use for their male dolls now, his incredibly adorable hair, which gets, like, if you pull it up, like, super tall. Look at this. So cute. And the freckles. My favorite feature is his eyes. So I'm going to try to back up myself and see if the camera will pick up his eyes. They are the most gorgeous green eyes I have ever seen on a doll. And this is coming from a fan of the original, like, Felicity. I love Felicity's green eyes. His eyes are so beautiful. They are really green. They have all of this depth in them. They actually have like hazel highlights. They have like a rich green around the edge, like more of a forest green. They have like a moss green around the inside. They have a large pupil. I hope my camera is picking up his eyes because they are so beautiful. So I'm going to turn him so hopefully you can see the light playing on his eyes. So there you go. And again, this is not the outfit he comes in. This is the Rural Roots outfit. I'm planning to do a second video showing some of the new or newer Maplelea outfits that I have now, but he just needed to wear this. It was a Christmas present, and I mean, look at him. He's adorable. He didn't love the meat outfit for the boys as much as my other Maplelea doll did, so he just really wanted to change. Honestly, it's the bow tie. It's just the kind of guy he is. Need I say more? But I will show you. Let me put him down here. Hopefully he won't fall over. Again, if you've seen my opening video of my other Maplelea Me boy doll, you've seen this, but this is the outfit the boys come in. So you get this lovely puffy blue vest, more masculine than the female version, an orange long sleeve tee. The only thing I don't love is that this is kind of like decal striping on the sleeves, which I find personally a little odd. But it's really nice and bright. And then you get the sweatpants, really thick, lovely quality. So this is what the boy dolls come in. And it does have the embroidered maple leaf in kind of like an aquamarine color there. And it has the aqua zipper. In this case, the lining is the same as the outside, so no contrast. But that is the boy doll outfit. And they also get these shoes. Let me compare these to the girls' shoes because it's basically the same shoe in a different color. So girls and I know I'm going to drop them. Boys. Let's see here. So girl shoes, boy shoes. There you go. Very similar. Same design, same construction, just different color. That is Mr. Max. I adore him. I can't pretend I love him better than Devine, my blonde that I opened earlier last year, like last spring. I am fond of them both, but Max, he's perfect. He is so much like an elf, except he does feel like a real boy. He is mischievous. He's adorable. I realize the face mold is off-putting to some collectors, so I love it. I loved this face mold back when Maplelea Me first came out. This was kind of their Caucasian face mold for the dolls. They didn't have boys at that time, so it was a female face mold. They've now switched. They're using it as the masculine face mold. I think it works well for the boys. I actually liked it when it was a female face mold. It's different. It does take some getting used to, probably because the modeling of the face is a little bit more realistic than you might be used to if you're an American Girl collector. It does have these lines here like real faces have. It does have a sort of a neutral closed mouth smile. And yeah, it's got like the nostrils actually have shading. So if these details are off-putting to you, I understand. It can take adjustment. I kind of fell in love with Maplelea years ago and I love them. And then the ears are also pretty realistic. They're a little larger than American Girl doll ears and they actually have some molding on them. And then they do have this lovely painting on their faces. Like, I don't know, can you see his eyebrows? They're beautiful. His facial painting is pale, as suits his fair complexion. And I especially want you to notice, if you can, the eyelashes. The same as with Jenna in their Friends collection. Is it the Maplelea Friends, I think? She has like red eyelashes, so does he. And I feel like it's details like that that make Maplelea so special. He looks fair, he looks Celtic or whatever you want to call it because he actually has reddish auburn eyelashes. They're not black. And, you know, I adore American Girl dolls, but the eyelashes are always just black wedges. That's kind of what they are. So no matter how light the skin tone is, the eyelashes are always like really dark and really black. But again, that might make the Maplelea eyes feel a little bit more starey to people because you see the eye and the eyelashes are not like shading it as much. So it's just one of those personal taste things, but I think he's adorable. I do want to compare him though to Devine, my other doll, so let me grab him. Okay, here are my two boys. And you can see same face mold. I think it's the... Gosh, it's hard to tell with the lighting not being so great. I feel like it's the same skin tone. What do you think? Different skin tone? I think it's the same. I think Max's eyebrows are higher. That's part of what makes him look so adorable, is they might just be a tiny bit higher on his face. Obviously, Devine does not have freckles. He has these gorgeous violet blue eyes. He looks... So I didn't know this until I got Max, but Devine to me looks like so proper. He looks like, and he's wearing another new Maplelea outfit. He just looks more preppy, like very clean shaven. And Max looks so wild. I love them together because their characters are so different. Look at them. Aren't they adorable? So cute. So again, I'm very fond of my very first ever boy doll, Devine. That's an Irish name. I love him. He's so sweet. And I will say, like, half of my dolls have a crush on this kid right here. But of the two, I gotta be honest, it's all about Max. He's my type. He's the type I would go for. They're both adorable, but Max is special. So there you go. That is Maplelea Me KMF 56. So the last of these 3 new dolls is this girl here. This is Maplelea Me KMF 53. And let me tilt her face. So this is a really interesting doll for me to review because I've only had her like a little more than a week. I did open her on Christmas Day, and she's a present, and obviously being a Christmas doll, being a Christmas present, like, I want her to be really meaningful to me. But I am not completely in love with her. I am coming around. It's just taking a little longer with her. So this is going to be a little bit more of a nuanced review. Obviously with Max and Kieran, top possible grade ever. Amazing. I love them. They're perfect. Wouldn't change a thing. This doll is my first time with this particular face mold. This face mold came out for the Maplelea Me dolls and became the kind of standard in that collection when they retired the face mold that Max and Davine have. So when this mold was retired, they replaced it with this mold. That happened, it was the same year, I think, or the same 12-month period-ish that Charles C came out. And it does have a few passing resemblances to the Charles C mold. I just never loved it. And I didn't really know why. I just didn't really feel drawn toward it. However, when these new dolls came out and I already obtained my 2 favorites, I found myself just being drawn to this girl because of the coloring. I love red hair and green eyes. It's gorgeous. She has this amazing auburn red hair. It's curly. She has freckles. So I just really wanted her because she had these amazing features. However, when I opened her, I wasn't like quite sure how I felt about the new face mold. I've had this experience with Maplelea before. I would say when I opened my Leonie doll, I didn't connect with Leonie. And it's kind of odd because now I think she's one of the most beautiful Maplelea dolls there is. But at the time I opened her, I just didn't connect with her. I actually had to put her away for a while and kind of come at her fresh to be able to appreciate her. So the response I'm having to this face mold kind of reminds me of that. It's a totally personal thing. The doll is amazing. Her quality is amazing. She's gorgeous. No quality control issues whatsoever. It's just the mold. It's just holding me back a little bit. That being said, let me show you some of her features. So, number 1 for me with this doll, her most incredible feature is her hair. So I think the lighting is actually pretty true. This is such a beautiful red hair. It just has this amazing depth. Now, I didn't think to compare it to American Girl red hair, so I didn't bring any of those dolls in here with me. So we're not going to do a red hair comparison, but these curls, I have not yet brushed through them. I just let them out of the hairnet, and I've changed her a couple of times since then. So this is their unbrushed state. Look. I'm speechless. It's like a shampoo ad. I mean, look at this hair. And unlike American Girl, who often does really thin wigs when they make them curly, look at the amount of hair you get, if you can see that, on this curly girl. It's maybe not quite as thick as Kieran's, but it is still really thick by American Girl standards. That is a really nice ponytail of hair. So incredible color, incredible shine, like perfect loose curls. If you want a loose curl doll, this is the kind of curl where you can actually play with it and brush it. It's not so tight that I would say never brush it. It's the kind you can finger style, you can brush it and then recurl it. It just has a lot of play value. It's really thick. It lays so beautifully along her face. Look at how it lays. So side part, look at the shine. I can't get over it. It is so beautiful. It is really that beautiful in person. I would say it's even more beautiful in person. Just touching it, the gloss, it's incredible. I love her hair. So pretty. So then she does have freckles. I believe it's the same freckle pattern as the other 2. There we go. Now my camera is seeing those freckles. So hopefully you can see that. You can also see the face mold. As I turn her a little bit, we pull that back. See that face mold? It's very round. It has slightly smaller eyes. And you can see her adorable freckles, and she does have the closed mouth smile, and that's kind of the Maplelea thing. They don't have the open mouth smile, they don't have the buck teeth that American Girl have. So it's very sweet. It's like she's just like bubbling over with happiness, and I think that's really cute. But for some reason, there are certain angles I'm not crazy about this face. And I am adjusting to it. It's progressing with me, so I'm really starting to enjoy it. But initially, I didn't like it from below. So it has, to me, if you look at it from certain angles, almost like a very large chin cheek area. I don't know if it reminds me in like not a good way of my own face or what, but I wasn't loving it from certain angles. Like I tend to prefer it from the top. So if I tilt her down toward the camera, I kind of prefer that versus looking up at her. I don't know if that's really showing, but just as I've kind of held her and moved her around and looked at her. However, the expression of her eyes is absolutely precious. She looks so alive and so joyful and like sweet, like a really sweet person. And then this eye color is so beautiful. It's so beautiful. I could be wrong. I thought when I opened her, it was actually a different green. I'm going to compare here, and I'm going to revise that. Okay, I think I'm going to call it the same green as Max. I am seeing the forest green around the edges. I'm seeing the hazel highlights, the pupil. Okay, so I'm going to call it the same green. So just this lovely forest green eye. Let's see if the camera will pick that up. And the way the green goes with this beautiful glossy red, auburn, the curls, the freckle pattern, the sweet expression, like her eyes are smiling at you. It is so sweet. Now, because I didn't instantly connect with her, it's taking me a little bit longer to choose a name, so we're still working on a name. I initially thought something Scottish, but I haven't really gotten any inspirations, so I'm still waiting on the name. Just the coloring is to die for. Now, I have her in this pastel toned outfit that I've had for several years, and I have to say I've tried her in like 2 different outfits besides her meat outfit. I didn't think the meat outfit with the striped shirt did her any favors. I just was not loving it. So I basically took it right off. I put her into this. I think the pastel really works. It kind of makes her fairness come out more, and I think the pinky peach goes so nicely with her hair and her coloring, and the flowers, the kind of the delicacy just suits the feeling I'm getting from her. So for her, I'm leaning maybe more toward Maplelea Brienne's collection. Brienne is kind of the country girl, which I'm not, and that holds me back a little bit, but she also has more of a pastel palette, so I'm going to probably lean into that and kind of see if I can find things that work for her. And I am looking forward to finding like more retired outfits on eBay and Mercari as they become available, because I love doing that. So that is this girl, and I will also point out that she has the auburn reddish eyelashes. They're not dark, so they really suit her fair complexion. She also has the reddish eyebrow printing, and I just love this freckle pattern, the same pattern on the other two dolls. It's like it's got a variety of lightness and darkness in the pattern, like larger dots, smaller dots, so they're not all the same. So if you think of like American Girl, Disney, Rapunzel, the dots are all exactly the same darkness, they're all exactly the same size, and it looks like a machine just stamped them on. They're super cute, but they don't look very realistic. These are like the opposite. They're so delicate. And I swear, if you're looking at them in person, some of the freckles are pale and some are darker. So they just look so much more realistic the way they're on there. And it's just beautiful. So that is KMF 53. Now, I just want to do a couple comparisons so you can kind of see how these 3 dolls compare. We've kind of already compared Max and Davine, so I'm going to kind of move him off a little bit to the side, but I want to bring up the other face molds that Maplelea has. I forgot to bring Scylla because I'm not planning on keeping my Scylla, so she's in my doll closet and I just forgot about her. She's boxed up and she's buried in other doll boxes, but I do have some other Maplelea face molds to compare these girls to. First, I want to compare KMF 53 with the other kind of Caucasian, I don't like that term, but I'm not sure what else to use. The other like non-person of color face molds that Maplelea has made. So this is Charles C. Just kind of looking at the camera here. For me, Charles C's face mold is the most similar of the Maplelea face molds to the one that they're using for most of their Maplelea Me dolls. It's hard to explain, but I saw the resemblance at the time the face mold first debuted. It came out after Charles C, so I felt like they sort of took the Charles C mold and adapted it a little bit. I would say that Charles C's is a little bit more, I guess, oval, and this one's a little bit more square. That's kind of how my eye is reading it. Also, these eyes are more almond shaped. Charles C's are a little bit more teardrop shaped. But I find the smile very similar. I think one area where it differs is the jawline is a little more square, a little heavier on this mold, and a little bit more rounded on Charles C. That's kind of how my eye sees it. Again, we all see things different ways. I'm not saying anything definitive. This is just my feeling about it. That is KMF 53 and Miss Charles C. So let's put Leonie in the lineup. This is my gorgeous Leonie doll. So this is the mold I had the hardest time adjusting to so far. Like I said, I actually put Leonie away for, I think it was more than a year. I think it was like a year and a half. Brought her back out and totally fell in love with her. I mostly fell in love with her though because of her hair. She has one of the most beautiful wigs Maplelea has ever made. But I just wanted to show the face mold. So what makes Leonie different is she has a really round, large forehead. So I don't know if you can see that. It's not maybe going to show up as much in the camera as it does in person. But the way her eyes sit in her face, they're like a little bit farther down. If you were drawing this head, the eye line is just a little low on Leonie, and it's something you might have to get used to. I certainly did. Also very round. I would say very similar in the chin to the Charles C face. I'm not seeing a lot of overlap between these two. And I will just put this out there. This is a newer incarnation of Leonie. She's not an original Leonie. And I know that just like with American Girl, the Maplelea faces and the face molds have changed a little bit over the, couple decades that they've been around. Leonie has these gorgeous hazel brown eyes. I love her eye color. It is really nice to see a doll that actually has a real hazel. And let's see how we're going to do this. I think I'm going to move Leonie to this side. Let's see if I can do this without them all cascading onto the camera. And I just want to show you their very first face mold. So this is the classic face mold where Maplelea is concerned. This was the face mold for the characters originally. This is Taryn. In my collection, she's named Sharon. This is probably, for me, still my favorite face mold, except maybe for KMF 57 Kieran's face mold I now completely adore. But I just love this. Oddly enough, when I first saw Maplelea dolls back in the day, I think back in 2014 when I first was introduced to the company, I hated the face mold. I found it incredibly off-putting, but I completely fell in love with it in a matter of days, and I've loved it ever since. So for me, it just did that flip, and then I started to love it. So the eyes in their classic face mold are really, really round, very open. It's a beautiful oval, which is accentuated here by the fact that Taryn does not have bangs and has a middle part. So you can really see that lovely oval shape. She has just the most gentle shaped eyebrows, the way they just softly curve. I love the dimple. I think this is true. I could be wrong, but I think it's true that that's the only Maplelea face mold that actually has a dimple, and they do have a dimple on either side. That's one of my favorite features. And the smile just looks a little bit more turned up. I would say it's similar to Charles C's. It just looks a little more turned up at the corner. So cute. Closed mouth smile, so it's a little bit more of a neutral expression. American Girl dolls look a little bit more like they're grinning at you, but these dolls just look a little bit softer. And yeah, I know that it's one of those things that you either love it or you hate it, and people have different opinions, but I adore this face mold. So this is the same face mold that Jenna has, Alexi has it, and Brienne. So originally their character dolls were Taryn, Jenna, Alexi, and Brienne, and then I believe they expanded to include Sila, and then they expanded to include Charles C. So Sila has a unique face mold to her, and Charles C has a unique face mold to her, but those first 4 characters all had the same face mold. They just had different hair colors, eye colors, and skin tones. That is KMF 53 with Charles C, Leonie, and Taryn, and these are all different face molds. So thank you for joining me today. This was really fun to share these 3 new dolls with you and just to take a little break from American Girl and enjoy Maplelea for a while. Really excited and looking forward to making a lot more videos this year. So if you like my content and my channel, I haven't given up on creating content. I just got so swamped at the end of last year, but it's a new year and I look forward to having a little bit more time to play, and I look forward to sharing some new products with you and some more doll creating, crafting videos and outfit reviews. I would like to do a video showing the new Maplelea outfits that I have. They're new to me, not necessarily new to the company, but the new ones I have in my collection. I'd like to share that, but I'm going to make that a separate video. And yeah, so there are my lovely dolls. I don't know if I remembered to rate them in this video, so I know I said that KMF 57 is perfect. I give her the highest possible rating. I would definitely extend that highest possible rating to KMF 56. I give a very, very solid rating to KMF 53. I am still just getting used to that face mold and like struggling with it just a little bit, but I really think she's an absolutely gorgeous doll. The hair, the eyes, the freckles, the coloring is perfect. Couldn't be improved. So if anybody can win me over to this face mold, it's her. So I also give her a really solid A. I'm just not quite as enthusiastic about her as I am about the other 2. But just all 3 really gorgeous dolls. And yeah, so I hope you enjoyed seeing their new dolls. I hope you are enjoying the beginning of your winter and that you are looking forward to a new year of possibilities and creativity and joy. And of course, I hope that you have plenty of doll time. I'm going to try to take a little bit more time to play and enjoy my dolls this year, and hopefully I can share that with you. I will see you in the next video. Thanks. Bye.